guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. This is a shorter little episode I'm shooting on a Sunday, but it's one that I wanted to address because a lot of people have been asking me this question, and I figured there was enough interest for it to warrant a standalone video. And what I'm going to talk about is the new Tudor Pepsi bezel GMT that is having these movement issues. You know, did Tudor knowingly release a broken watch? What are they doing to fix it? Is this common? I'm going to be addressing all of this. Obviously, I don't work for Tudor, but through the viewpoint of my experience in the industry, over 10 years experience in the watch industry. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today, I'm wearing my Tourneau triple date calendar made by Walden International. One of my favorite watches in my collection, a watch that I only reserve for special occasions or occasions where I haven't worn it in so long that I kind of just want to get it back on the wrist for a day. Not my most expensive watch, but, one of my first watches and one that I find extremely charming. Just goes to show, guys, the most expensive watch isn't the best watch. And to me, even though, Tourneau is pretty much a no-name brand, but it is made by Walden, which has made some fantastic watches in the past. This has a prized position in my collection. And of course, another quick little announcement, go check out delraywatch.com, some more great new watches in stock. We have a Reverso 976 we just got in, a ceramic Seamaster with 2018 papers, a couple of vintage watches, a vintage chronograph, manual line that's very cool and well under $1,000, as well as a very interesting mosaic dial Rolex. Not to mention, if you guys are looking for a Mark 40, we just got another Omega Mark 40 in stock, the one with the colorful dial. So all that and more, if you guys want to go check out delraywatch.com, link in the description below. So, Tudor released a watch, GMT, part of their Black Bay line, with a new in-house movement, the MT5652. I'm going to put up a picture up here of the watch. You guys know it. It was one of Baselworld's hottest releases. They brought back the Pepsi. It's in the Black Bay case. Great size. It's a GMT. It's very well priced. But, if you guys may or may not have heard, even though a lot of people are talking about it, the movement is having date issues. Basically, the date is not clicking over in the right position, or it gets stuck, or it skips a day. The date function is not functioning properly on this watch, and everybody's kind of freaking out. Now, I can tell you, there's no reason to freak out. I mean, yes, it's not something you should be happy about, but this is just stuff that happens when brands release an in-house movement. Now, as I said, I'm not affiliated with Tudor in any way. I don't have access to any more information than you guys do. I can just tell you what happens in my experience, because I've gone through a few product releases where new movements have been a little quirky, shall we say. So when a new in-house movement is created, I mean, that takes years of research and development and millions of dollars, and they are tested. However, no matter how much testing you can do, you can never catch all of the kinks. So generally, the first revision of any movement, any new movement, may have an issue or two. Now, this happened with the Breitling's B01, with the Piaget automatic micro-rotor movement. Arnold has had more problems than anyone. FP Journe, I mean, they've all had issues. And the way these issues are discovered is they do research and development, they make the movement, they test them, it passes the testing, and then it gets released to the public, and people start buying it. Thousands of people, in some cases tens of thousands, and eventually a small percentage of these movements show problems, common problems, problems that they have in common with one another that may have not been caught in the testing. So essentially, bringing a movement out to market, the customers are essentially the beta testers. And this seems to be the issue with this Tudor. Now, what's probably going to happen is people are going to bring them under warranty, because this is going to be fixed under the warranty issue, through the issued warranty. And Tudor's going to see these common problems, and it's most likely the same part or series of parts that's gonna fail. Once again, I'm not 100% sure, but that's probably the case. And of course, they're going to replace all these parts and all these faulty watches, and they're most likely, if it's happening commonly enough, they may even redesign these parts, and they're going to quietly replace them. So they're not going to come out and admit, yes, we released a movement that is broken, or we released a faulty movement. No brand is ever going to do that, but if there are enough of these issues with enough of these watches, they will quietly redesign a part and put it back in. They may not even change the caliber number. So for all you guys that are thinking, oh, well, I'll go ask my AD if this is the new, if they do fix this issue, I'm going to ask if it's the new movement or the old movement. They'll have no idea. Probably safe to say, if there is a revision in a couple of years, they're all going to be pre-manufactured from the factory with the revised parts, if they do choose to revise them. Because once again, you have to look at the failure rate. Enough movements have to fail for them to warrant replacing and redesigning parts. Now, I will say, from what I've read on the internet, usually people with complaints are more vocal than people that are happy, but there have been enough complaints that I do think this date issue is probably a design flaw or a faulty part, and I do think this is going to happen, that they're going to redesign part of this date mechanism. Now, guys, this is very, very common. I know it's not something you should be happy about. You bought a luxury watch and now it's got to go back under warranty. But the truth is, it's a revision 1 of a product. Just like when Apple released its first MacBook Air, it would overheat, or the first release of a new car generation, there may be issues. The same thing with a watch. So you guys should be aware of that whenever you buy a new in-house movement. However, of course, I am 100% sure Tudor is going to fix all these issues under warranty. It's a little bit of an inconvenience. It's going to take a few weeks. But I definitely think they're going to make good on this. But you guys would be surprised how often this does happen. Watch movements are very, very complex things. Can't get it right the first time. And unfortunately, bringing it to market not only ensures that the brands make more money quickly, but it's a great quote-unquote beta release to see where their movements are failing. So guys, that's just my opinion on the Tudor day date issue. I don't think they created a lemon. I don't think they're screwing anybody over. I just think it's, a new movement. Things happen. It will be addressed, and it is much more common than you guys may think. Anyway, fellas, thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Really helps out, and it makes sure you guys don't miss any content. If you own one of these Tudor Pepsi GMTs, if you don't have a date issue, you may never have one, so don't worry about it. And if you do have a date issue, once again, don't worry about it. They will fix it. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.